What's up? This is Tyler with Division One Trading. This is the free Forex YouTube course. This is going to be video number 3. We're going to be talking about trend lines and how I use them. So again, here's the disclaimer. Go ahead and pause the video and read that if you haven't already. So this video is going to be very short and sweet. We're going to go through the slides and then we'll go through a couple examples in the chart. Right, so with trend lines, this is generally what we think of, right? We'll see a trend in the market and we'll try to get on board, say here and here, right? More so here where it touches it. So, right, we'd be looking there. So I'm just really almost trying to do the opposite. I'm waiting for this to end. So the first one, right, is the fake out. So this is a setup where we have a trend line. So say like right here, we had a channel, right? It breaks. So it doesn't follow the trend line, but we're also not looking for a break and retest, right? There's no break and retest here. See that? So when it trades up, we're looking for a zone, right? So then the next level we just look for here, right? So this would be an example of the fake out. It's where it's breaking that trend line, running into some level of resistance, right? And then trading away from it. So the second one is the breakout, right? This is just the break and retest. So here's the example where we have that trend line, right? And we're not looking to sell here, but we're waiting for a move to be made above it. So right here, they break out with those candle bodies. And then here, those 2 wicks, they retest it, give the engulfing candle here and trade away. And there's that area there. So pro tip, right? These work best at extreme price levels. So for example, we're looking at that long trend here on Euro, right? That move we just showed, that bearish break and retest. It's on the 4th day after 3 bearish days have already happened. So it's at a low extreme. Cool. So let's go over to the charts. Here, so we identified this trend. Let's go find another one. So let's just talk about this uptrend here, right? So say we're following this level in an uptrend. We want to see, okay, when does this uptrend actually end? All right, so we could take this big push here, and we could really just draw it here, right? And this is obviously not very clean, it's messy, but it just helps us get an idea of, okay, the trend has broken here, right? There's nothing for us really to trade off of yet. Then when it trades down, we now have a zone right here, right? And that can be used, right? And again, why is this beneficial, more beneficial here, right? Because it's now at an extreme. They've bought it all the way up. It's most likely overbought, right? And you can use an RSI and things like that. We'll be going over that in later videos. So, right, let's talk about this day here. That was the 30th. So if we go down to the 30th on the 15th, right here, you can see we had a very similar setup. Right, we had this trend line here. There's the break, retest, and then a short scalp. Goes for about 30 pips. Then you can see we trade back here, fail again, and then build in this trend here. Right, and you see these 3 highs. So right here we give a fake out. Right here we trade above into that zone, right? And then it trades back down. That's our fake out. So we've already given a fake out. Now when it trades through this low, we expect that break and retest. And it's not much, but it still helps us get in this, at least this scalp here. That's about 20 pips. And then eventually it comes out. That's manipulation, but then runs back down. And right, that's a whole new setup now. That's that fake out as well. Let's go a little further back into price action real quick and just look at a couple more. So like right here, I like to use the evening from the previous day and Asia and London, if you're familiar with all those times, right? So something like this will always give a good setup, right? So once it trades here, right, we're expecting it to break and retest, or, right, we either expect the breakout or the fake out. So when we look left and look for a zone, we really don't have anything other than this area down here. And obviously that takes a while to get to. And once it gets to it, then we start trading and giving a little more. Another basic setup. Let's see. These are always real smooth here. So right here we had that channel. Right there's just that fake out. Right, so when you see this trend line here, just like that, and you see these 3 lows, really 4 or 5 lows, you can understand that, okay, we need to be looking at this area, right? And if we could look to the left, if we have a zone there, which we do right here, right, that is an area that we could be looking for right here, right? That would be that fake out. See, and then we could use that body, and then we could use this one here. Gives us this little zone that we could use. That would be where we're entering, and gives us about a 12 pip drawdown. Let's look at GU. Same thing. And then here was the trade from earlier today. We had that break. We were looking for a retest, didn't get much of one, hard entry, and it ran off. Obviously similar move to EU, excuse me, EU. And over here, you can see we're looking at that setup. There is just a small trend line, breaks it, runs into this liquidity here, and then trades back low. Let's see. Let's do one more. So I also like this one here when it's stretched over multiple days. See that? And really, if you want it perfect, you could draw it like this, but it still offers that small play. Obviously, we wouldn't be looking at that trend. If we were trading over here, we'd be looking more so like this. So then when we trade high, right, because we already have this level, it trades right to that liquidity, gives us that fake out, and trades back down. So again, remember, there's really only 2 that we expect. Let me pull those back up. Right, so, whoops, this is the wrong slide. Okay, so the two that we can use are here, the breakout, right, which is just the break and retest here, or the fake out, right, which is just it breaks the trend line, is not actually moving in that direction, doesn't give any form of break and retest, hits a zone, right, or some level of liquidity, and then reverses and trades down. And that's how I use trend lines.